Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So earlier today, I spent some time reviewing my bank statement from April 2014. And honestly, I'm embarrassed and I'm a bit ashamed about some of the things I spent my money on, how I spent my money. And it got me thinking, and I came to the conclusion that what I was doing at that point in my life was keeping up with the Joneses. So the first thing I typically spent my money on was shopping. I found on average I was spending 12 to 20% of my salary shopping, buying clothes, shoes, and bags. Number two thing I typically spent my money on was on cash withdrawal. So I found I typically took out cash, and I honestly cannot remember or even account for what I spent the cash doing. The third thing I spent my money on was buying lunch. Honestly, guys, I contributed significantly to Itsu and Sainsbury's profits because I was spending on average £5 to £8 4 days in a week. Do the maths. That tells you how much I was spending a month. You know, the worst part of it all wasn't even so much how I spent the money, was the fact that I looked at my opening balance on payday. So I got paid on the 28th of the month at that point in time in my life. And I looked at my opening balance in April 2014. And I found my opening balance before my salary came in that day was minus £980. Ouch. So I'd actually spent most of my salary in advance before I even got the money in the account. So I found I was not only living from paycheck to paycheck, I was actually spending far more than what I earned. When I decided I wanted to manage my finances better, honestly, it wasn't something that happened for me overnight. It's something that happened over a few years. And I found I had to unlearn a lot of bad spending habits that I had. And I had to start learning new ones. Some of them were easier to learn than others. There was one I really struggled with though, and that was shopping. I mean, I really loved looking good. I still love looking good. And I prioritized shopping every single month. Typically around payday, I was out in Zara, I was shopping on ASOS, name it, every high street store. I was very frequent there. I knew the latest trend, I knew what I wanted to look like, I knew what suited my body shape, and I typically wore those things. The truth is, when I reflect back on those days when I felt the need to wear the latest outfit or look trendy or look a certain way, the most anyone ever said to me was pay me a compliment by saying, "Ope, you look beautiful in that dress," or "I love your outfit." And whilst that temporarily reaffirmed me, the truth is I paid a heavier price by mismanaging my finances. I found I was constantly keeping up with the Joneses. Who were the Joneses? Number one, some of them were people who earned double what I earned at the time, and I was competing with them. Second category of people were those people who had additional income, either from their side hustle or they had the bank of money and daddy that was still funding them despite the fact that they still earned a salary. I was competing with people who had never met before but were setting the fashion trends at the time. I was keeping up with the Joneses, but I was actually doing it at the detriment of my own financial future. I got to a point in my life where I realized I needed to make a change. Now, here are the things I did at the time. First thing I did was I opened up about my reality to someone I trusted, and the person happened to be my sister. What she did so well was she listened to me and she didn't judge me. She just encouraged me. I told her what I wanted to do. But I found in actually speaking up, I found it was the first step to actually making that change that I needed to make at the time. The second thing I did as well was I decided to actually stop going through West End. I typically went to West End. I found if it was a hot summer day or the cool of spring, I'd walk down that road, Oxford Street, Bond Street. And I'll typically leave with a top, a skirt, pair of trousers, or sandals or shoes. And I'll justify it sometimes by saying to myself that, well, it's on sale, so I saved some money on it. But actually, I was still spending too much. Third thing I did was I decided to be responsible. I lived at home and I didn't actually pay any rent. I didn't pay for any utility bills. But at that point in time, I realized for me to manage my money better, I needed to prove that I was actually responsible. So I decided to take on a utility bill at home. The fourth thing I did was I became accountable. It wasn't enough actually opening up to my sister. I actually needed to follow up by being accountable. Now, I didn't put any pressure on myself, neither did she put any pressure on me. But what I did was, in our catch-ups, I'll regularly I'll just drop it in and tell her how I spent my money or what I spent my money on. And there'll be times where, or maybe what I was intending to spend money on. And there'll be times when she would say to me, can it wait? Maybe you can actually save up towards this. And I found that really helped me over time. Now, as I'm sat here 8 years later, I'm not battling the same demons as I did back then. But actually, there's still some things that I put in place to help guard my spending habits. Can you believe that I actually don't enjoy shopping anywhere near as much as I used to before? These days, I find going shopping a real chore. It's okay to repeat clothes and wear your clothes over and over again. I don't put myself under any pressure. I wear my clothes so many times. Do you know why? Because I paid for it myself. And I'm allowed to wear it as many times as I want to, as long as I keep it cleaned and ironed. There's nothing wrong in liking the finer things in life, but remember there's time for everything. There's gonna be a time where you can afford to go shopping and not even look at the bank balance, buy everything you need. But there is a time to actually sit down and be disciplined with what you spend your money on. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, remember to hit the like and subscribe button as well.